collaborate with each other and stuff like that. So all y'all. Oh wait, hold on. I need to turn my air conditioning back on so my computer doesn't overheat. Be right back.
Yeah, GitHub is good for that. That's kind of why we ended up picking it.
Yes, GitHub is good for that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm back now. I actually don't have the wireless headphones. I'm connected to a wire, so I had to turn that off. Yes.
Mhm.
Yep, I use it. Yep, my website is on the GitHub. And I also have oh, I didn't put that in there, huh?
I
I
will also
didn't
say GitHub is definitely complicated, but most of that seems to just be the user AI. Like the UI looks scary, but
Yeah, the
otherwise it's
UI
actually not that bad. Like I had to learn it for this panel and it's
yeah.
not
It's
not
just there's so many
horribly.
options, like so it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
Like you can do
just
so much with
information
it.
overload kind of UI.
Yeah. I missed what was said. What about doing so? Oh
Yeah,
yeah. This is
if you want
follow
to
the
get
leader.
started
You
early,
can follow along with us if you want. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
if we're going to actually explain more once we get to the actual like tutorial part of this, but if you want to start early, you can make a GitHub account right now, and it should make it a
Yeah.
little faster when we come time when it gets to that point.
So you'll just go to github.com and it will ask you to make an account. This can also be done with like if you already have a Trello, like if you use Trello, then that means you already have a Bitbucket account because you're already in the Atlassian family. So this works on Bitbucket, it works on GitLab and
It
stuff like
technically
that.
works on pretty much every
Hosting
web hosting
provider.
service. You just might have to do a little bit of adaptation for ones that it's not designed for, because it's designed for like the
Exactly.
GitHub family.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Atlassian has gotten wonky lately. They always are like, "Oh, like I have like the Jira app for my phone and I always want to keep like using it for notes, but it won't let me like upload my stuff for some reason." Yeah. They're big about like if you're dormant for more than like a month or so, they're like, "Oh, we're going to just delete everything for you." And I'm like, "Oh, that's great. You're helpful." I don't use it as much. But like everybody uses like Jira, so for ticketing and tracking of stuff. So there,
We're getting close to the actual time, so
I know. I don't know if I should share my screen or you should just share your screen. I think it'd be
I
better
was
because I've
just
got
gonna
like,
share mine. I think it'll be easier if we just have one. If you have
That's
something
good.
you want me to add, we can always do that. Is my screen being shared now?
Yes, your
Can you all
screen
see
is being
that?
shared right now. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm.
Sweet.
We'll tell some of the lore behind the making of this panel once we actually get to the
Oh yeah,
official live time and have time for people to filter in who wanted to be here for it. But this has sure been an experience. I
I know,
have
right? I'm so
learned how,
sorry.
yeah, I have learned a lot more about the struggles that software devs go through after trying to make all this work. So
I know. I apologize for that though. But now
I
you
do
can say
think that
that
it's
you're
actually,
a web developer now. You're a web
yeah, I
developer
do
now. Okay.
I do think that the difficulties that we went through getting all this to work is actually ended up as a good thing because I feel like this final result that we've settled on is better than the one we were using originally and easier to use.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think this one's way
So
easier to
it
use.
pushed us to a better
And
solution than we were originally going to use. So that's cool, I guess.
no, I do really appreciate that. Do. I guess I can look at the because I have like the in-panel chat open on my desktop. Um,
Yeah, I have that
but
open right now as well.
I guess I can also do the panel questions on my phone as well, if need be.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah,
I feel like
so
we probably
let's.
don't need to open that to the end based off of how previous panels have gone.
I mean, I
Leave
guess that
people to
makes
filter
sense.
in questions and mostly just follow panel chat until then.
That makes sense. What does this one do? Uh-oh.
Have we done the ping for anyone interested? And
Somebody else did.
okay.
Who else did? Dino Canid did because he is awesome. Thanks, Dino Canid. You're the best.
Cool. We have
Love you.
officially started. We're probably gonna give a
Okay.
little bit of time for people to filter in, a couple minutes, but it is
Yeah.
officially live now.
Okay. Sweet. Uh,
My
yeah, we
computer
should give.
does do a computation at least once a day. I can agree with that.
Oh gosh. Yes, every day your computer does a computation. Oh, you're souped. Heck yeah,
Well, I
souped. I'm
am.
gonna right click you, add a reaction, soup. SOUP. We're gonna add. Oh, come on. Really? SOU. I can't have the normal soup. You know what? I'm just gonna open my systems emoji thingy, and I'm gonna look for the soup one in there because that is not right. SOUP. Soup. Souped. I'm gonna reply to this because that goes that. There we go.
Soup.
Soup. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Maybe you should also go to like the github.com in like a incognito window so people know what it looks like when you're not logged in.
I could do that,
So
yeah.
just open an incognito window. Just do the git dot like because that's actually the sounds that the internet makes is like that.
Yep. Make sounds.
Yep.
Make all the beep
Oh,
boop sounds.
yep. Speaking of which, y'all were talking about like old-fashioned internet. I want no, we shouldn't do that. I was gonna say like you can get dial-up modems for like nothing because it's their e-waste now. If you really wanna, if you wanna talk like a modem, no, no. Yep, yeah, go for you
No, I
can.
didn't. I
I
never
actually
realized how loud old electronics are until I actually had to work with them.
yes.
They're loud.
No, also just re-downloaded SeaMonkey and Thunderbird because I was like, everybody is going through like the, alt horror werewolves, but like you're not actually supposed to view Usenet on the web. It actually really messes it up. Like you're supposed to use a Usenet reader, which is built into Thunderbird slash SeaMonkey, and the a big issue is if you try to use Google's archive of Usenet, it doesn't have all of it though, but there are other Usenet services that have been archiving since 1997. Some of them, unfortunately, are pay for, but if you really want to get the internet, those Usenet posts from 1997, it still exists. And, way after I can talk about that because that's not what we're talking about now. But we can
Yeah, I
definitely do
think
that. You
someone
found a
made a
goal.
discussion in the discussions threads, specifically about old net and archiving and stuff. So
Oh, I
definitely, if
started the
people have
archiving.
resources for that, you can totally
Yeah.
add them there.
Yeah. That's so
It
cool
can
that
be
you found a gopher. Those are so cool. Archie, Veronica, FTP. I'm upset when they
that.
actually Mozilla shut down their FTP because that's how I would install it on Windows devices. So I didn't even have to open up Internet Explorer. I just open up the DOS prompt, ftpmozilla.org, download it there. Never had to touch Internet Explorer, but they shut down their FTP server, which is understandable. It's not secure. So yes,
Yes,
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Yeah. Yeah, Thunderbird. Yeah, it's interesting because there also used to be Canine Mail, and they kind of like merged. Ooh, what was that? What was that for a
That was
second?
me checking tabs, and I didn't realize it would hide the tabs that are currently open.
Oh shit.
So that was my bad. I didn't mean to make the screen
No, that,
blink.
no, that's okay. That's fine. Yes, Thunderbird. Yes. What's also cool, and I didn't realize this in the Sea Monkey and the Thunderbird, um, instead of just having access to IRC for chat, it has like Jabber and Matrix and some foreign service that I can't pronounce. I think it's like Russian or Finnish or something like that. So
They sure
it
are
was
words. Yep.
yes, they sure are words. Yes, sorry about that.
I am definitely following
Yeah,
more on your level than some of these
no, no,
other
no.
people who need to know what
XMPP is Jabber, but there was another one. It's OX or OK. Its logo is like an O and a K, and it looks like a little dude, and it's like Okapekapuk. I don't know, something, some Finnish thing or some Latvian word that I don't know. I used to use Pigeon. Actually, I didn't like Pigeon, um, because I was mainly on Jabber and IRC. Like I did use AOL Instant Messenger and Yahoo and MSN and Skype and ICQ and all the letters that people used back. Uh-oh, can you not hear me?
No, they're referring to just this is a lot of technical
Oh,
talk.
sorry.
It's fun
Oh no,
yapping
no.
for before the panel, but some of us just are
Okay.
kind of following along as
Oh,
best as
okay.
we can.
No, no, I was just answering their question.
Yeah.
No, there's these are just names of like old chat programs from back in the day. I'm a gray muzzle, so like these are like chat programs before Discord, before Telegram. So so that's all we're talking about now is like the way that you used to be able to chat to people. Yes, yes, I'm a gay nuzzle. Yep, that's what we all are. Yep, TeamSpeak, Mumble, yeah. Yep, exactly. Ventrello. Nobody talked about Ventrello. Where's the Ventrello? Where are all the vent people? No vent. Oh, sorry, creatures. Where are the Where's the Ventrellos? Oh. Okay. Is it about time? Are we
It is about
gonna?
time. I was thinking we should probably start the intro. It'll probably
Okay, cool.
last enough to give a couple more people time to filter in here.
Can you at least select the Git GitHub registration screen
Oh, I
from
have
your
it. Yeah,
incognito?
I just have it on a
Okay.
different tab right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking we do an intro first.
Oh yeah, yeah, that might be fine.
So this
I mean,
panel
there's yeah.
is, yeah, this panel is Under the Hood, our mutual aid site that we've been working on. And it has been a process. So we had this idea, and then we got the idea working about like 3 months ago. And then the tool that we were using to originally get the idea live decided to just break on me about 3 or 4 days ago. And so we had to come up with a backup plan. And then the backup plan decided to also not work because it turned out the documentation for something that we wanted to do was out of date. And I could not find something that explained it well enough to be able to explain it to you guys in a reasonable amount of time. So we're on second backup now, and we're going to be remaking the website with you guys today. And I also,
Yeah.
as I said earlier, I actually think that this second backup here has turned out better than our original idea. It's just that it's been kind of stressful trying to pull it together right now because it was very last minute. But I think we should be able to show it to you guys, and it should make sense. The first step
Yay.
for all of this, once we go into the tutorial, is to get a GitHub account up because we're going to be doing this on GitHub. So if you want to start working on that while we continue the intro, that is totally go ahead. Yeah,
Can you click that page so other creatures in the
yes,
audience know
it
exactly what we're
should
talking about?
look like this, and you go into the sign up, and you can make an account. And
Yep,
if
so
you
that's
have accounts in some of the
github.com.
similar stuff, sometimes they can link over. And once you get to a page that looks more like this is the profile page once you've signed up, then you've gotten to the point that we need for now. All right. So,
Also, wait a second, hold on.
yeah.
I'm gonna post my link. So this is if you want to follow along on your mobile device, this is a screen recording of me doing the next steps. After you've already created your GitHub account,
Yeah.
you can go to this
That's
Doxify and
that is a
you
few
can follow
steps
along.
ahead, but that is the mobile version of what we're going to be showing you, the basic parts of what we're going to be showing you until it eventually will end up catching up to the desktop version. This is possible on mobile. It will be significantly easier if you do it on desktop.
Oh,
The just
absolutely.
because it'll be easier to follow along, and just most websites are designed to be able to be viewed on desktop, which just makes that means their UI will make more sense in that. All right. So, do you want to intro yourself first, or would you like me to go first?
Oh, you should go first.
Me? Okay. So, we were talking about soup earlier. This is the only decent image that I had of myself that I have drawn recently. Um, so we have this as my intro image here. Hi, I am Ver, or Vi is the easier way to pronounce it, with the abbreviated version. That is our collective system name. We are the Void Soul system. Right now, Dart, the slug cat who's been around, is the one presenting. We didn't know who would be here, so that's why we put our system name down. But it's me. I did most of the project stuff for this. It's probably a good thing that I'm the one here. But yeah, hello everyone. Um, I don't really have anything that I can tell that's more about me. I kind of just exist, and hopefully, my name. Can I say my name one more time? Sorry, I need to say these things aloud. Yes, Veyhr is how you pronounce the Veyhr. If that's too much, you can just say Vi. I abbreviate it to Vi most places as a result. It's a lot of letters that don't usually get put next to each other. Yeah, I don't have like any website set up for me personally because I wanted to make this panel because I got scared away from making a website when I watched kind of, yeah, that works for pronunciation. But I got scared away of making a website back when I watched the Centaurus Festival version of the Making Your Own Website panel a couple months ago, and I was like, this is too much coding, I can't handle it, and gave up. So I was like, but maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way to make my own website anyway. Yeah. So we are that's what this panel means now. Now we have this panel. Cool. At least we're not making dynamic websites. Yes, that is significantly more complicated. I have definitely learned more programming than I thought I was going to for this panel because of all the technical issues we had. So I actually do know what that means now. But yep, this will
Yeah.
have as minimal coding as possible just to try and make it explainable for you guys. Uh, I mostly abbreviate it to Vi because most of the people who I talk to are going to be reading it on the internet, and they aren't going to be hearing me say out loud. When you say it out loud, it really is not that hard to say, I agree. But if you're looking at it on the screen, it's not a usual name. So I usually use Vi as a nickname in a lot of places as a result. Anyway, Puppy, would you like to intro yourself?
Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Puppy. She, they, puppy. I'm pup gendered. Sparkle, coyote puppy. I've been on the internet. Let's see. When did we get? So we got the what? We got the Mac in 92, the LC2 in like 92, 93, and then we got like internet in 93, 94. So I've been on the internet for a very long time, back when the earth was still flat and Jesus was riding velociraptor like that. So like I know a lot of this technology because I used to use this technology. Um let's see. Unfortunately, back in the day when I was first learning about like myself and my stereotype, this was back when the forums that used to exist were very heavily guarded and gate kept, and there was a lot of grilling. And I'm not really great at like articulating and introspection because I have aphantasia, so I can't really like see things when I close my eyes. So I never really had the right words to get into those highly get gate kept in gated communities. I found the furry fandom uh in kind of an unusual way. So like back in like 99 when I first picked up Linux, I thought it was really interesting that a lot of like the Linux websites had the Blue Ribbon Campaign, Free Speech Online, Electronic Frontier Foundation stuff. And those were all web ringed onto these websites that depicted like weird gay animal porn, like people drawing like and wearing and I was like, I don't understand what this has to do with open source software or Linux. So yeah, and like alternative spirituality. So yeah. So TLDR, that's how like I first kind of yes. Yeah. Exa Yeah, open source. Yeah, gay animal open source. There you go. Yeah, maybe that's it. Um
I'm so sorry you can't figure out the CAPTCHA. I wish I could help you, but I don't know if even I would be much help.
no, does it have like a little audio thing or have like a thing for accessibility? Sometimes the audio ones are better. Um so anyhow, it might have like a picture of like a headphone. Um it does work with VPN because I have a VPN. So if you're VPNing, so anyhow, so the reason why I want, oh yeah, I think I've been involved with other cons since like 2001 or two. Um, Dino Canid is awesome. I don't know what else. Sorry, I'm rambling. So basically,
Yeah.
the whole reason behind this is I wanted something that y'all could follow along with, collaborative, because the whole purpose of these programming websites, these are called like revision control. So GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket use an open source software, collaborative software coding concept, uh, referred to as revision control. And revision control has been around for a very long time, since the beginning of collaborative and software. That's actually how this all ties into Otherkin and Alter Humanity. Um, I'm just thinking like, how does programming relate to like making zines? Well, think about it this way. What's a video game? A video game is a piece of software, right? But there's so much art and music and sound and thank you for the Git workflow. I appreciate that. All of these things that all of these different creators from around the world collaborate and contribute with. So, I think the best way of otherkin friendly capture. Oh yeah, heck yeah. That's the for non-human. That's the thing that I wanted. So I'm gonna actually click on that because that's the thing that I wanted. So why I think this is important is if we all collectively are able to collaborate and share our writings, our experiences, our lived experiences in these software platforms usually don't go down. Yes, if there's some DMCA thing, like if you put Nintendo code, you'll get a DMCA and it will be slapped down really hard. But these are also useful for portfolios. A lot of photographers use it. Um, I actually, anyhow, that's how I have my images
Yep.
uploaded.
We
Um,
have hit
so
long ramble point, so I think it might be time to actually move to the thing that we're doing. Does
yes,
everyone who
yes.
wants to follow along have an account at this point, or is there anyone who still needs to make one? We're making accounts on GitHub for this tutorial here today. Still making one?
Okay,
Okay.
that's cool. Sweet.
Yeah, once you get to the page that looks like this is your profile page, then you are at the right spot. Yeah, I think some people joined a little bit later, so they maybe didn't hear my original statement. Yes, we're actually doing tutorial. We're doing this
Yep,
uh,
it's an
live together.
activity.
We're remaking the website that crashed way too many times because it decided to just not work last minute, and we came up with a new and better idea that we're now going to do live with you.
Yep, together. It's a follow along. So
Yep.
everybody get your popcorn or ice cream or
And
15 Red Bulls, whatever you eat and drink.
this example site here that I was using for the intro, this example site was made using the same thing that we are going to be doing today. So it will look like this. There are options to customize it, but that does take a little bit of programming knowledge for it, a little bit of coding. But you can get it to look
And
exactly like
and
this, where all you can add as many different, you can add as many tabs as you want. I have a second tab here. Uh, and you can do
yeah,
all of that
that's what
in
mine looks like.
Markdown, the same thing that you use to make fancy text in Discord. So once we get this all set up, you can just add a markdown file, and then it'll just work.
Also, if you really want to be able to do Markdown, your Google Docs from desktop mode, you can export
Mhm.
as Markdown. So if you have
That
it
is another
nice and
thing I was gonna
formatted,
show, yeah. We're going to
sorry,
you
sorry.
can use anything that can download as a markdown file, you can upload that and then just have it appear as a page as well.
And you can even do it with images. The images
Mhm.
on the Google Doc will encode it as a weird blob file. So if you look in your Markdown, you'll see like all sorts of like crazy letters and stuff like that because it's just encoded in base 64, which
If
is
we have
just
enough time, I think we probably will since we did extend the panel's duration. I will go over some of the web hosting options because I've seen a lot of people talking about those kind of things. So we should be able to go over that. We just have to not ramble too much. We're both rambly people today, apparently. So
oh, that's how you're going to be coding code in air quotes coding
yeah.
your website. So instead
So
of
you're
using
basically going to
HTML,
use GitHub as kind of like your notes document where you can just like paste your markdown or upload your markdown files. Anything that can download something in markdown. Yeah, like italics and bold like that. That's markdown. You can just make a new markdown page in GitHub and it'll just become a page in your website. You do have to add it manually to the it is way less flexible. That is another thing we're going to go over. We're trying to get it to the point where you can make your website and share it to people. There is no way to give you the same level of flexibility that you have on a like custom coded or even a template coded website without being able to use HTML and CSS.
well,
This
hold on.
is, however, yes, this is website easy mode. This is going to get you to the point where you can write your stuff, put it online, and share a link to people, and they can read it online without having to download it or something. Yeah, this is an entirely non-coding website. Well, technically there's code, but you're not the one doing it, so I don't know if that
But wait,
counts.
but wait a second. So that is true, but that's not also entirely true because in the base directory there is a .html file. So you
Yes, that's
can
what I
once
mean.
you're
There is an HTML file, but you are not the one coding it. That is going to come built into the package that we're showing you how to work with today. So you
and
could go
also
manually code and edit your own things after the fact. You could revamp everything once you feel like you have the mental energy and time to be able to code your own website. This is to get you to the point where you can put stuff online and share it.
and you
Yes, you
can
don't
use
need to
this
be the
same
coder.
website. Yes.
Yeah.
And then once you're comfortable, you can use this same website to deploy a regular CSS HTML
Mhm.
website like mine. Like if you go to www.barklington. What am I com or org? I don't even remember my website anymore. Oh my god, that is embarrassing. I own all of them, but get all the real facts at at barklington. Wow, that is how dumb I am. So if you go to oh my god, HTTPS, sorry. Colon slash
So we are going to give more resources for like when you want to transition over to actually doing the programming after this, as part of the like extended discussion part.
but yeah, so
Yeah, after
this
the tutorial
this was
part.
done in just this website, the regular barklington.com was done in just CSS and HTML. But the other one that I showed you, the Awoo one, where is that? This one is an edited version of the software that we're teaching you right now. So you
Yeah.
have, using GitHub, you have the entire flexibility to use whatever language you want and it will just work. This is just the easiest to follow along with right now if you have no previous programming experience and you just want to just follow along on your phone without having to know how to code. And if you want to do something a little bit extra, you can open up Google Docs, make it look pretty, and then file export as Markdown, and then just poop it into your GitHub once it's all set up.
Yep. All right. So does everyone who wants to follow along have the GitHub account? If you were wanting to do that. All right.
Okay. Oh, one of them asked, "What screen should we be on?" Can you show the introduction
Yes, you
empty
should get
GitHub?
to if you can get to this profile screen, you're far enough. You don't need to make anything yet. If you can get logged in and click profile and get the page to look something like this, you've gotten far enough.
And that's one of the cool things about GitHub is you can customize your profile, and that's just done in Markdown as well. That's in the
Mhm.
readme.markdown.
Other cool thing is you can work on it. It's has a lot of features built in to make working with collaborators on the same website pretty easy. So once we get this kind of thing set up, if you wanted, you could just like log into your GitHub that you've made through this thing and
And connect with
work on the
us.
same website we've made and just
Exactly. You can
add
add new
things to it.
stuff.
I would have
Sorry.
to open up the ability to do that, but that is something you could just do.
And that's the most important part. That's why we wanted to have this one. And this is why this one is different than NeoCities or some other hosting sites. Because usually on a normal hosting site, you're the one that has the username, password, SSH tokens, and keys, and it's usually just one person. But
Mhm.
this is collaborative, and I think like that's why I think this
There are a
presentation
couple
is
others with
different.
collaborative stuff integrated into them, but this one's one of the probably the most robust systems for that. All right, so those of you who are following along, we are now going to go here. And when you do that, it's going to look like this. You're going to get to this page. It's a template for what we're going to use.
Oh, and for those who are following along on mobile devices, this is
Yeah, that video
it's a
should show
big
you
it's a
the
screen recording.
similar thing for the mobile version. It might be hard to follow along at the same time as watching the panel, so maybe just try and absorb what you can during the panel, and we can go back over that at the end if possible. But is
Yep,
everyone who's
coding looks
following
super.
along made it to this site if possible? Go to
So
the link.
fol-
I will post it
so
again.
so
Go
it
here.
looks like I wanted to read some of the chat. So Fallen Noun SYA
Yeah, and
says
we are
coding
recording
looks
this,
super.
and we are screen and audio recording, so we should hopefully be able to have all of this for you guys, and we should be able to upload it.
So one of the comments was coding looks super intimidating, to be honest. I mostly know about HTML code from my time on MySpace and old websites. And yeah,
Yep.
coding is intimidating to me too. I have the dyslexia, so like I wanted to be able to share. Yes, I'm screen recording and audio recording as well. That's why I wanted to share this because accessibility is really important to me because I know that every creature has different accessibility needs, like myself included. So I wanted something to share something with the community that was accessible to as many different creatures with as many different abilities as possible. Um, if that makes sense.
All right. So are the people who following along made it to this website? All right. So next, you should have this green button up here in the corner that says use this template. This is the button we're going to click. If you hit use this template, you can then it does a little drop down and you can hit create a new repository. Repositories are basically the term for any set of like it's basically a giant folder for a bunch of files that all do something together. Usually you could have like a repository that all of it together does a game or all of it together is like a wiki for something. And in this case
Like
we're
a
making the
repository
repository that all of it together is going to be your website.
like a repository of knowledge. It has all
Yeah.
of the things. Also, there's that little switch that says include all branches. Turn that on. You'll see you click that. Just tap on that. Click that. There you go. And now that's on.
Yes, there is a no Jekyll in here because this is using a fancy stuff in the HTML file to go around Jekyll and do stuff on its own, basically.
That's a good question. That is a
Yeah,
very
it
good
is.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, it turns off Jekyll because Jekyll is automatically built into everything on GitHub. So it just toggles it off. If you're doing this on a different site that isn't GitHub, you can just remove that file. It doesn't do anything. But because we're doing this in GitHub, we need to leave them in here. Any whatever purpose you want, because it's on GitHub, this particular site that we're remaking together, Jekyll is the
It's the
built-in
built-in
style
the
sheets and coding stuff for inherent to
for
GitHub is kind
GitHub
of how
pages.
yeah.
So technically what's built in is something called GitHub pages. So if you know how to program in the Jekyll styling language, it can set up your profile page or organization deployment page immediately, but it's a little bit less straightforward to configure.
I was trying to do it earlier, and it is significantly more complicated. It is something I could probably show to y'all, but it definitely is not something we could do without programming. You definitely
Yeah.
need to do some programming for it.
Yeah,
Um,
and I don't want to confuse anybody, so we're just going to use this. So it's just another one of those markdown to HTML generators because that's basically what we're doing. We're
yeah.
converting markdown into pretty HTML. But at this point, you're going to be creating a repository name. So make something
It,
that sounds super
so
cool to
now
you.
we're going to do the repository name. You have two options here. You can either do something that's cool, and that will automatically show up like here. It will add that to the end of this extension. This will be your username, your like root here. This will be what your URL is, and then it'll add that on, and then your website stuff will be after it. Or you can just use this URL section here, the like username.github.io. So like for this account here, it would be the ultrahumanmutualaid.github.io. If you use that, it will not have any extra stuff. It'll just use that.
And when people go directly to your site, it will automatically,
If
that
they
will
go
be your
directly to your site, it'll go to that instead of something else if you use this as the repository name. It technically could be changed later, but that would be a little complicated.
Yeah, and that
You
will
have
break and
yeah,
dereference your links. So
yeah.
this is like something you really
Well,
need to think
depends on if
about.
they're inherent links, but yes, you can change it later. It just takes some steps. It is not an easy thing to change, but it is possible. I would suggest just doing this thing here with the username.github.io.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's more
I would do this if you don't have an idea, because this just this is the default basically. It makes it as simple as possible. It doesn't add any extra stuff to your URL. Just
personal
use this
website,
if you don't have another idea.
more of
If you're
a
doing,
portfolio, a collaborative
you can do
portfolio.
personal website, you could do portfolio, you could do collective wiki or for whatever you want to do. Um, as in like the URL be pasted to a chat or what?
It's whatever your username is, so we don't
Yeah.
know
So
exactly
once
what
you make it, you can just it exists as a real URL. So like I can do this and I could just copy paste this example thing and it'll just work like a normal URL once you make it.
like mine is barkbarklington dot github.io. Like that's
Mhm.
mine. So if you go to barkbarklington.github, that goes to barkbarklington.com because I
Yeah, Pages is
connected
just
this.
oh, sorry. Pages is just how they refer to their web hosting part. So GitHub is primarily a code hosting website where you can host your code and then share it with other people, but it has a built-in feature to allow you to turn your code directly into a website, and that's what Pages means. GitHub Pages is the website building part of GitHub, which is
Like if you
really
go
the
to
only thing you're going to touch right now, unless you want to go into doing a multi-person project, in which we're going to do explain a little bit of at the end.
Because if you've gone to your favorite software's website, there's a website for, say, if you go to like Second Life or if you go to VR Chat, and you can learn more about it. And then there's a download section and you can download the file. And then there's a documentation section. So every piece of software that you download on the internet generally has a website associated with it that, talks about the website, talks about the team, you know what I'm saying, has documentation, how to use it. And so this is if you wanted to do that for yourself. Say you made a really
Mhm.
sick game, like an indie game or an interactive zine, because that's one of the things you could do. And you see that a lot on itch.io, because that's more like an indie game kind of distribution platform. So if
Or if
you
you
had
wanted to
this
like
really
post your essays, or if you wanted to make a portfolio of your art that you've created, or you want to do like a card equivalent but more with more pages to it,
yeah, and
anything like
less
that you
tracking,
could do.
less tracking in it, and you control
And even do
this.
make it like a notes app that you can basically make it a notes document you can access from anywhere and see from anywhere without even having to log in somewhere. Granted, other people would be able to see it then, but you could do that. Or if you have something you needed to remember, you could put it on there.
Did everybody think of a really
All right.
cool name? Is
So while
everybody
we're
all
doing
caught
this,
up?
once you have your repository name, which is whatever fun thing you can think of, or this, which is the simpler version, then you can make sure this is set to public. It does have to be set to public if you want it to be free. They do have an option to launch a pages, the website when it's set to private, but you do have to pay for that. I don't think that'll really affect anything here since we're just
Yeah,
at
that
least for
that won't
the
affect it.
yeah. Especially if you're
That
doing a, like, group project kind of website where any multiple people can collaborate on something, this would be you'd want it on public anyway. Then you can hit
oh, that's
create
cool.
repository once you have this as public and this is your repository name, and it'll
And then
load.
you just gotta grab a cup of coffee while it percolates. Doo, 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 doo.
Oh,
Oh no!
done.
What happened?
Do it this way.
Make sure no, make sure
Setting.
it has all the branches.
See, this is what happens when you do things. This is what's been happening this entire panel. It has decided to not work ever at all.
Then don't do the one with the GitHub.io. Just call it like something
It looks
amazing,
like it
something.
worked.
Oh, it did?
It worked, it just sent me to a 404 error page. Cool.
Okay. So
Well, it
basically,
was
no, this is
supposed
what
to
it's
send you to
supposed
a
to look
page that
like.
looks like this. So if it did this, it worked. For some reason, it didn't work for me specifically. Yes, that is what it's supposed to look like right now, the username/username.github.io. That's because we're in the repository, not the page. Once we make the page and launch the page, it will look correct.
Yeah, this is we're gonna have to do a little bit of scary stuff, but it's only like one scary thing.
Yeah. So the main thing with GitHub, the main reason why I see a lot of people not recommending it is the fact that it is a very overwhelming UI. Yes, 404 jump scare. Um,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things here because it lets you do a lot of things. Right now, the only three tabs up here that we really care about is this code tab, which we're not really going to be coding, but this is where all of your documents go. The actions tab, which tells you what's going on, like where it's loading and stuff. And then
Don't
the
forget the
settings tab.
repository. No, don't forget the repo because that's what you just made. You just cloned a repo.
Mhm. Oh, this is I mean within the repo. Yeah, you on your,
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah, yeah. Oh,
homepage, you
right,
can
right,
have,
right, right.
like, your list of repos over here and, like, all of that, and you can go into the repo, but once you're in the repo, which is the term, again, for the box that everything's stored in for your website, the 3 tabs that matter is code, actions, and settings up here.
Remember, it's a repository of your alter human experiences. So you're putting
Yeah,
them all
or
on this
whatever else you
website.
wanna put in your box. Next, we're going down here to settings. Once you're on settings, or everyone who's following along to settings.
Yep. On the top,
Also,
click
if
the
we're
gear
going
that
too
says
slow or
settings.
too fast, feel free to tell us. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
how fast we're talking, or if we're going too fast.
exactly. So once everybody's hit the settings thing, the settings gear at the top, just make sure you just send in chat like, "Hey, yo, I'm at the settings."
Yeah. Everyone who's following along at settings, cool. So settings has a lot of settings. Way too many settings. The one that matters
Very
right now
scary to me.
is the pages. There should be a setting under code and automation at the bottom that says pages. That's where we're going. And this is where you publish your site.
But you
Mine's
have
already
to tell it.
yeah.
See, that's why it gave you the 404.
That's why it gave me the 404 because it already was launched.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was
so this is what it's supposed to look like. I already had it launched because I was messing with stuff earlier. Yes, your settings page has the settings. Your
yes.
settings page is a page that has settings. That's called
Yes.
pages. Um, so now we're going to deploy from a branch. Can I zoom? Why is it so small? You were correct. Zoom. Is this better? If it's already published, you shouldn't need to do anything. I unpublished it so that I can show the people who don't have it published. If it's published,
And
that
then
probably means at some point you made another repo and published it, and that repo exists as part of your website now. It just might not directly link to the pages that you make through this. So we're going to deploy from a branch. We want this to be main, and we want this to be
uh,
root.
click on the main because by default it's not on main. By default it's on
Mhm.
none, so you want to select main,
Select main and
and
select
then you
root.
also want to select root. And then you click save. And then
Like,
this is going to take like a couple of minutes. It has to build
yeah,
things, make the box that's going to have all of your alter human experiences. It's going to make a chalice and a table and an altar. It's going to do all sorts of crazy stuff that we have no idea. And then you'll know that it's done because you'll see.
I don't know why it's not letting me deploy from the thing.
Yeah,
Why is
go back. Go back to the Docufy and make a new clone a new template. Go back to
oh, did it
Doxify.
break because it was live at the time? That might be it.
Yeah, it was live at the time. Yeah, you broke
Well,
stuff.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay, it's
redo
fine.
the last step. Y'all get to watch me redo the last step. I'm gonna go
No, no, go back up. Just click the
yeah.
Doxify link. You need the Doxify link. Here, I'll send that to you.
Oh, hold on.
Here it is. This is the
Okay.
Doxify link right over.
Yep.
It
Cool.
won't let you. Oh, that's interesting.
So here
Did
it
you
won't
did
let
you
me
go to
do
branch? You have to click branch instead of selecting none. It has to be. No, 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 go back. Go back to the Doxify and just clone something new. Nope, get away from this one. Click underneath it where it said templates. Go back to the
no, I
templates.
get that. I'm just getting back to this page. So this is the page that people are having problems with.
Okay, so a lot of times, if it doesn't say deploy from a branch, go under there, and it needs to say, yep, that needs to be selected though. But go back and see where it says branch. If that's on none, that's not good. It has to say main.
Yeah, this has
That's
to
the
say
most.
main. This has to say
Yep,
root. And if this is where you are,
yep. Deploy from a branch.
yeah.
Something cool. That is correct.
I think if
Okay,
it's
good.
already
If it
live,
looks
it
like that,
probably
yeah,
hmm?
lavender sprinkles. That's exactly the way that it should look like.
That's what
You
it's
should be
supposed to
able to.
look like. If you get to the thing and it has the your site is live,
That means you did
uh,
it. You did it.
yeah. If you can get it to say your site is live, you did everything right. If it doesn't say that, you probably still did everything right. It's just confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it has
Oh,
on it somewhere saying your site is live, that is correct.
okay. We might be able to help you better. Anybody who's having problems, take a screenshot and upload it. upload it to the chat
Yeah.
so I can see and I can walk you through. So take the screenshots, whether you're on your
Another way to
phone,
check
whether
if
you're
your
on your
site is
device.
live is if you go to that Actions tab I mentioned earlier and hit Deployments down here. You can click your URL right here, and if it works, it should send you to the Docufy like basic awesome Docufy site thing. If it looks like that, it's right.
Yay!
If it
Yay, you
looks
did
like
it! You
this,
did it!
something broke, and we're gonna
Yay!
try and figure out what happened.
Yay, it worked. Okay, so I'm a mobile. If that is not,
Yeah,
oh, so
that's
it
the
yeah, so it should work. Yeah, you
yeah,
just
that
have to
should be
click
correct.
somethingcool.github.io, and you should be good. That's perfect.
I just have to figure out why mine broke, which
So
is
okay, so
fun.
Alter Human Mutual Aid, go all the way to the bottom to the danger zone and delete it, because you have to go all the
Yep,
way to the bottom. So go
let's
all the way to the
try.
bottom, danger zone. So
Delete
if
it.
you ever want to delete
Yes, I want to
stuff,
delete.
then you have to type in the name
And
of
it makes
your
you like triple check that you're gonna delete you want to delete things.
because
So
you're
I
gonna
deleted that,
delete.
and I'm gonna try seeing. Oh, this is not the
Yeah, it is.
template.
It is.
There's
You just go to the nope. Yep, there you go.
this is the template. Yeah, create new repository, and we're gonna try this again,
All
and hopefully
branches.
it doesn't break this time.
All
What is the difference
branches.
between all branches and non all branches? Because it worked for me without all branches.
All branches means that all of the if there are any folders in there, it
Okay,
will. That's what I always do.
no, that makes sense. Nope, that makes complete sense. I don't think this one has any branches, which is why it didn't change anything for me. At least when I messed with things originally. But yeah, so we have this again, and will it let me do the thing? No.
Deploy from a branch. It's
Well,
gonna
you
no.
know
It's just
what?
gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit.
But it doesn't have save button. I can switch to
Just
my other account.
yeah. Switch to your
No,
other
that
account.
I don't have access to
'Cause I
this.
think I think
No.
there's already something there deployed as
Well, we're gonna do
Ultrahuman.
it from my other account because this is the one that I already got it set up on.
There it is.
So if it
Pages.
looks like
There you go.
this with the your site is live box up here, that is correct. That is what you want. This will all look the same, but it should have this. Yeah, Doxify is kind of like Jekyll but client side.
And it's just nice because it's in Markdown, and I think that's.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, make the mirror of NeoCities. You should do that. Yeah, so you can have a mirror of your work. Because if NeoCities ever goes down,
Yeah.
that's smart.
So this is the page. I have already edited some of it because I had to use the other version of it. So it looks like this right now. For code, you should have no Jekyll, which is the one that we explained earlier, which is what turns off Jekyll, which is the inherent thing that we are doing something similar to it with our HTML thing. You should have an HTML file. You should have a README. README is like your default page. Anything in README will show up down here on the this like what's it called user
Landing page, yeah.
interface, and it will
And then
also be your home
and
page by default for your website.
and then you should also have that second dash page
You
that
should have
empty as
second
well.
page on there as well, and you should have sidebar. I think the other stuff in here is stuff that I added. Oh, you should also have
Yeah.
license. License is what the licensing that this is under, basically saying that anyone can use it for whatever they want as long as they keep that licensing with it. Yes, it should look like that. That is correct. Those are
Yeah,
all the
that's
pages
perfect.
you want.
Yeah, that's perfect. So the main one that you're gonna wanna edit is the readme.me file. That
Mhm.
readme.me file is big. It talks
MD, yeah.
about it has all sorts of like
So
stuff.
you go, if you click on a tab, it should bring you to a page where you can look at what this page looks like right now. You could look at like the code version, which is like the version in raw markdown versus the preview version, which is what it looks like with the markdown processed as decorative text. And you should be able to click a little edit button and actually edit the markdown. So
Yeah,
if I
so you
say
can
here, hello, this is an example. And edit whatever you want in there.
and then you have to go to the green button to commit changes.
Yep. People who
and it's
following along think
oh, sorry.
got here
All right.
yet,
Oh, right, right, right. Yeah, has everybody clicked the pencil?
and I could say anything in Markdown.
Yeah. Oh, you should show them how an image works.
I will get to that.
Oh, sorry.
I totally agree we should show how images work, but how
Yes,
would
yep,
one get
commit
the
directly to the
templates
main
for the new
branch.
repo? You go, do I have it in history?
Yep,
Nope.
correct
Where
to the
where did it go?
Oh, how do you get the template for the new repo? I
Yeah.
will show you that. I have that as a, that is
But you
how
don't send the regular Doxify send the template one directly if you can.
oh. Oh, okay,
Doxif
hold on.
Yeah, because there's 2 versions of it. We want template, not the default one, because the default one is the one with all the documentation included in it, which is very interesting read, but it is also kind of technical. Whereas the other version here,
This one, that's the one you
yeah,
want.
the
That's
template
the
version,
template.
if you go to the template, it should let you create a new repository from that template, and it should come with all these files built in.
Yep, in the upper right-hand corner. Oh, here, I can show you.
If you already made your own repo and launched everything, you can just copy paste all these files in directly, and it also works. It's just that the easy version is just to directly link over.
And if you want like a 2-minute video, this is me doing that on my phone. So since you came in a little bit late, if you download this video, this is me just doing that on my phone. It's like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, some people just have the stuff to do server hosting at their house or wherever they live, or they own a server somewhere else. I know at my house, my dad, who does software development, has his own private web hosting that is just completely run on a computer at our house. So some people might just have the ability to do that. You can totally ask around for people who have some sort of technical knowledge and just be able to do things.
I'm proud of everybody that's gotten this far.
Yeah.
Y'all are great. You're
So
all programmers now. You're all web developers now.
you can make things on the web.
Yeah.
That's fine. Dissociation absolutely hits hard sometimes. If anyone's having a hard time following along, I know as well we've been very rambly, so if that is making it hard as well, we will have a recording of this. So you can totally
Yes.
go back and rewatch anything 1,000 times if you want, if it helps. Uh, it will be available.
And also my little 2-minute video on
Once you
my
hit
phone.
commit changes and commit directly to main branch, there's 2 different options down here. Create a new branch creates like a separate thing that you can then merge in um, later. But you could it doesn't really matter that much for these smaller changes. So you can just hit the commit changes directly to the main branch and it'll automatically merge them in. So now you can look my markdown text on here says hello, this is an example, and wow, this is bold because I used markdown for it. And if you go to the actions tab again, you can see that this thing is now pending. Once this turns green, then it'll show up on your website. So it actually shows you where, like, how far it is through the process of adding it to your website on this
Takes
actions
about
page.
5 minutes. So yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
happen
the first
immediately.
time,
It takes about like 5 minutes. So you'll have to just be a little
or
bit
it takes
patient.
usually on average for small changes like 30 seconds to a minute. For the larger changes, like initially creating the repo, it should.
That
Yeah,
was
you're doing
good.
it. Wow.
Yay, you're doing it. You did so
Yeah.
good.
For the initial time you make it, it should take a long time, just because there's so much that it's like processing. Um, so now that this has turned green, I can hit the little rocket ship deployments tab here, and it gives me it gives me my URL right here that I can then link. And wow, my hello, this is an example, and wow, this is bold are now on my main page because I added them to my README.
Exactly. Yeah, because the GitHub, a lot of employers know that GitHub is like, ooh, you know how to program. Wow, you're hired immediately. You know?
GitHub looks very fancy.
Yeah.
People look at it and they're like, "Oh, I know exactly what that is. This person must know what they're doing."
Yeah.
Yes, you are now a
But what they
programmer. You have done the
Yep,
programming things.
yes, exactly. Everybody's a developer now. You're a developers, 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 developers.
So now, the fun thing is, if you want to create a new page, all you gotta do is add file, create a new file here, and just name your file whatever,
.md. It's a doctor.
and
You're a
just
doctor
add
now.
.md so it knows it's a markdown file. If you add
You're
.md,
a medical
it's
doctor.
like, "Oh, hey, this is a new page for our website," and it just does that automatically. So now
Oh,
I
and
can
be
just
careful.
type stuff
It is
here.
case sensitive, so whatever you put in here
Yeah,
is case sensitive.
it
That's
will
just if
recognize the cases, so if you're ever trying to refer back to a different page, it will remember what case your original page was, and that does matter.
So yeah, so when you're making links, when we show you how to link to things or link to images, you have to make sure that you're respecting the upper and lower cases of the letters. Otherwise, it will say, "Nah, that's not a file."
And then once we have our whatever title.md and your whatever you want to add to your page, you can then commit changes and it will commit it the same way it did with the other one. And now we have an extra tab called whatever.md. So now if I go to my website that I made, well once it finishes buffering, because it always has to buffer. Has to think, computer thinking. It do the thinky thing.
Yeah, back in the day dial-up internet was like. So when you would
It
type in a
does have to be
website,
.md. The extension on the file tells GitHub, because GitHub allows so many different. Yes, commit to main. Commit to branch is
yeah.
like committing a separate thing that you can merge in. But because GitHub supports so many different file types, if you put a different dot whatever there, it'll think it's a different kind of file and won't recognize it as markdown. So we want to do .md so that it knows to use the same way of typing things and understanding text as you use in Discord, because that uses markdown too.
See, this is why thank you so much for doing all the explanations because I wouldn't have been able to say that as eloquently as you
No, it's
did.
it's fine. It's done buffering. So now here, it doesn't automatically appear on my sidebar, but I can. What's the syntax for this? Yeah, okay. Do
It
just
was a
add
capital.
whatever. It does start with whatever
Yeah.
because you got to do the caps lock. And look, that page exists now. That page that I just did, that was whatever with type stuff here. It is on my thing. The next step is to actually get it added to this sidebar. So if I go back to code now, I should have a page that came automatically with our packet here that says underscore sidebar.md. It does need to keep the underscore. It does need to be all lowercase. Um, it's fancy stuff. Don't ask me exactly how it works. I do not know, unfortunately. But if we go into here, we should have the ability to edit this and just add something to our sidebar. And you do that by doing the same thing that's already here with the dash space, the rectangle brackets, with whatever you want to show up on the sidebar. So I can say whatever or cool page.
Bro.
And then you do parentheses. And then you put in here the name of the file, which is just whatever, with the
Case
capital because
sensitive.
it is case sensitive. Um, and as long as everything is in the root, not in a folder, if you do it like this, it'll work. If you put some of this stuff into folders, you can still do it. You just have to do the like slash folder
Folder.
name.
Yeah, slash
I
other
think it's a
folder
long
name.
slash. But slash folder name
No, 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 no,
slash.
forward slash. No, 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 forward slash.
It is right
It's
slash.
Unix.
Okay, I can never remember.
Yeah.
I always have to try both and figure out which one works because they're the same.
Forward like
They're the same slash
well,
anyway. But
you just have
if
to
it was in a
remember like the
folder, you do that. Otherwise, you can just type the name and it will work. So now if I commit my
if
changes here to update my sidebar, um, now when my actions here, once this loads, it's thinking.
the easiest way to remember the slashes is it's the same as you type in your URL bar because you're putting it on the internet
Yeah,
and this
I
is
know
on a
that's the
Unix.
same as the URL bar, but I don't remember which one's in. So I either go look it
You don't
up, I just
remember.
like I just do this and I'm like, "Oh, hey, it's that one. It's that
Oh yeah.
one." Or
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
try both.
That's smart. That's smart.
The sidebar thing again? Yes, I will show again.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
so once I do the thing I just did, it now should show up on the sidebar. It is still not. It did earlier, but
Sometimes you
what
have
did I
to
do
hold
wrong?
shift to force it because it's cached. So
Yeah,
sometimes you have to
true.
hold shift and then the curly redo thingy. Yes. So that should work if you hold shift.
Shift.
Shift and hold shift and do that.
Hold
Okay.
shift. Will this
Yep.
will this load? Nope. Oh yes.
Try it.
Nope. Nope, not quite. Never mind. So let's try this again. So you should go to sidebar and you should be able to add things here. How long should it take for stuff to your site to be up? Yeah, you can see the actions page, the
Ooh.
actions tab here at
Okay.
the top. It should tell you what's pending.
So okay, so you edited the README and you got a 404. So take a screenshot of what your code looks like and upload it here so we can walk you through to see where the error is.
Unfortunately, a lot of stuff, pretty much anything you do with computers, especially if you're trying to cut corners and not do things directly the way that with the language that they understand, it will be touchy and you have to do it exactly right or it will have errors. And you just got to accept that there will be problems whenever you're doing anything programming. And even if you do use their language they understand, so programming languages, um, yeah, it will still have errors. It does exactly what you tell it to. There's no getting around it. It is the stories of the genies who do exactly what you say, even if they know that computer does that, except it doesn't know what it's doing. It's just doing exactly what you said. If you delete everything, I do think that breaks it. Yeah, I think if you have some text in there, it should work.
Hi, wow. README MD. Deleted everything. That's probably the. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It needs to have the dash. Needs to have. Oh no, wait a second. Go to your default README. VR. Can you go to your default
Me,
README? Yeah,
yes.
yeah. In raw code mode. Hmm.
No, I don't think it needs a dash, but I do think it does need text.
I already did that. Okay. Can you go back one? Can we just see what your directory looks like under your Petricorian? So I want to just make sure you have all of the different files there, Willows. Hmm. Oh, and then also check actions because if there is some sort of weird error of it compiling, it will tell you what's wrong. So if you go to that actions
If you
pages,
go to this actions tab, it should tell you if
because if you
something
scroll
broke,
down,
it'll show up
yeah, scroll down.
red.
You had one that was a different
I
color
did, but
somewhere.
it's so gray is I guess that it
Let me
didn't
see what yours looks
exactly
like.
fail, but it didn't work.
Second page, no Jekyll readme sidebar. Hi. Hmm. Is a special repository. It's a README and it will appear in your public profile. Generated from Doxify template. Strange. Huh. Um, can you go into cipher I can never pronounce your name either. Yeah, can you go into that README and just paste it into the chat to see if they can just copy paste for the one for in the README? Just the raw README. So yeah, if you can just go up to README, rah rah rah, fear.
Oh, me?
There.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and then code, and then just copy. That shouldn't matter, but copy that and then into text into the chat, and then see if you can copy. And that's weird. Oh yeah, look at that. Sweet.
Sometimes things say they break, and then you realize like 5 minutes later that they never actually broke, and you've been trying to fix something for a while just because it didn't load fast enough. I have had that happen.
That is true.
I know when
Oh
I
no!
was trying to
You have to edit it. You have to put it in code mode. So you have to use 3, the thing that's on the tilde, because when you pasted it in here, it turned it into Markdown. So whatever you paste, do 3 backticks, which is the same thing on the squiggle. Hold Shift, do a return to do a new line, paste your stuff, and then do 3 more, and then it does, you know. I don't I didn't I'm not talking good. Let me just do mine. Uh read me. Uh here you go. Code. I can just I can probably just upload that
see.
to
Look,
the
you know that thing I said a few minutes ago about how the page that I added to the sidebar wasn't working. I have not touched it, and now it's there.
I know, right? Isn't
So
that so that's
it
lame.
literally just is sometimes that you just have to wait. I don't know why. It just happens.
There you go. That's the here it is. Here's the default MD
It does take
file.
a while to update sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this reminds me of like the 90s internet, because like the website isn't really, you just you type on your website, you go downstairs, make yourself a sandwich, get a cup of whatever you drink, maybe go outside, check the mail, go back upstairs to the computer room. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's what a National Geographic picture looks like. Nice. Nice. Thank you Antarctica penguin, Uncle Arctica penguin, Aunt.
Yeah. So it does just sometimes take a while to upload, and yes, it will. Specifically, it has to be your whatever name your username is .github.io in the. If you just use your username, it will add, or just use whatever other word, it will add that other word to the end of the URL in this example. So if you
Yeah,
do
no,
the
that's fine.
version with that, yeah, you shouldn't have to relaunch it if you remake it. It should already exist now. And if
No,
you
no, no,
want, you
it
can
it works
duplicate one.
good.
Hmm?
This one
Yes, but that's the
works.
version. They want the version without the username at the end.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why it
That makes
wasn't
sense.
working. You're trying to go to the version of the page that doesn't have the username at the end, but it doesn't know what that means because when you told it earlier, you told it you and tack it on at the end because you didn't do it the exact way it told you to. Because unfortunately, that is how it does things.
Yeah. So when you're selecting
If
the
you don't use the
username,
syntax it wants, it will break.
you need to, when it's asking you to make a repo, this is what you'll type in as the name of
Yeah,
your repo.
use exactly that, not just abbreviate it to the username because otherwise, yeah, can add images. Images tend to take even longer. Yes, code is very super
Heck
sensitive to
yeah.
space, and images tend
Heck
to take
yeah.
even longer to load than other things. So if it's not showing up, you just gotta leave it and hope it works. And now I think someone earlier asked if I could do the sidebar thing again. So when you
Oh
add a
yeah.
page, it doesn't by default show up on the sidebar. You just got to add it to your sidebar on this tab. So here I can expand this so that I see all my file names here. And then I just do this dash space. This is in the sidebar file. Do the dash space and then the brackets and then parentheses and do what you want to show up on the sidebar in the brackets. So I could do unknown here. And then what your exact file name is here. So with capitals, and characters and stuff.
So, Lavender Sprinkles asked, you can add images as a file or only link and need to host the image somewhere else. You can do both.
Yes,
So
you
we're
could
going
do
to show
either.
you we're going to show you links and then image links cuz you can use like link to somebody else's web page on the internet or link to a very different site even on your website. Like say you have like a completely different page hosted somewhere else
So
cuz
you can,
remember
yeah. Markdown is already what you use in Discord, so it makes sense. Like, if you want to learn to use it, it's not going to go to waste, even if you don't end up making a website with it. So now I just added this extra page. I just copied the syntax of the thing above me, dash space, the box, the rectangle brackets, the parentheses, and type what you want to show up on the bar in the rectangle brackets, and the direct, like, the link to the file that you want to use in the parentheses. If they're in the same folder, you can just use the file name without whatever dot file type extension. If it's not in the same folder, you just have to add slash folder name slash, and just add however slash folder name, however many slash folder names you need if they're multiple nested folders until you get up to the file. So now if I
and then
commit this, I should be able to eventually, whenever it loads on the actual, it should show up here on the sidebar.
And Ellie the Yin showed how to link to a picture, and it is
Mhm.
important to put the exclamation point before the
Yes,
bracket.
the
Otherwise, it
exclamation
will
point
just
is.
link to the picture instead of actually loading the picture.
Mhm. You have to put an exclamation point before the markdown stuff for linking something, and then it'll be like, oh, this is supposed to be a picture, and it'll load it as a picture. You can also use the HTML version of photos, like the way you add an image from HTML. You can do the same thing, and it'll in the markdown files if you already know how to do that, if you never learned how to do the markdown for photos.
Meow 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 meow. Meow, meow,
And
meow, meow,
one
meow.
more thing to show is that if you have anything that can download as a markdown file, so I think you can download your files from Obsidian, the Notes app, and other like that, and that's why I have this up. If you can download a file as markdown, a markdown file, so now I've downloaded my example page here as a markdown file. I can add a file, upload a file, and I can just
Choose your file. Oh yeah, you're doing that. I
drag
was
and
just
drop
gonna.
this in here, or search it from your files and commit the change, and it will just automatically realize, oh, hey, this is a markdown page, and it will automatically add it as a page to your thing, to your website. You do still have to add it to the sidebar like with a page, but it does just add it for you. So if
I
I
would
wanted to,
recommend taking the space out so you don't
yes,
have to.
the space will break things. So if you do have a space in another title, you will have to remove the space for it to be able to. It'll make sense in the thing.
And
But
you can just click that pencil, and then it will automatically make it so you can edit the
Mhm.
file name as well.
You can edit file names from the normal edit page. So now I have this example page that I added. So if I go whenever it loads, have you loaded? Yes.
Also, on Android, there's a Git Notes app that you can use, and you can like link it to this so you can edit it on the go with a more
Um,
clear interface. But we're not going to really cover that, or maybe after. Ooh, let's see. Oh, you did it. Oh yeah, you added. Oh,
hmm.
you made a little. Oh, soul bond. Oh, I love it. Oh, you did so good.
Refer to it from
That's
an
so.
image from another repository of yours. I think you do need to treat it as an external site URL because it is a repository, so it can't link internally to it. Because like
Exactly.
it's on your account, but it's not in the repository. It's not in the um.
Yep. Things from other
Yes.
domains and subdomains do require absolute URLs as
Also,
opposed to
if you
relative.
mhm. Also, if you do have the like private version, if you do pay for the service to have your repo be private and still have it be live as a page, which is an option, you do need to use the like full file list thing to be able to have people access photos in your repo if it's private. Like it will break it if it's private in that case.
Yes, you
Yes.
can do that, but you can't upload an empty folder to Git. Git does not track empty folders, so you have to do the whole thing. Like
Yes. When you
you
make
have
a
to
folder, it will make you it will make you like add a text or markdown or whatever page to it because it doesn't like empty folders. It has to have something in it. But then you can just throw whatever else you want in there and those will
also if
all
you're
work.
on well, a desktop, you can actually download the GitHub desktop. Like if you really want to do this, and then when you link it to your account, it's going to ask for your username and password. Then you have more abilities to transfer files and folders and larger files because there is a limit to you can't go above 25 megabytes when you're uploading a file using the web-based. But if you're using the GitHub desktop program, or if you're really adventurous using the command line tool, you can tell it to track much larger files. But if you're
Mhm.
like for example, I had an issue uploading my Fursona pictures because some of those files were bigger than 25 megabytes. So,
We do have some questions here. Is there a file size limit to the folders? As far as I know, no. I have never I don't think there is. Is it possible to make folders for the
there
sidebar? It is, but it is a customization thing that does take a little bit more like extra stuff as
so
far as I know.
so
Um
so there so the file size is uh 25 megabytes. So you don't want to go above 25 megabytes
okay.
unless you go in your settings and add large file. We'll cover this later, but there's a way to tell it to track large files, but you have to do that using the desktop application or the command line application.
And if you do make
So,
a folder, it just doesn't have to be an empty folder. It doesn't have to have specifically an MD file. It can have whatever you want in it. It just can't be empty. And by default, I think it adds an MD file as when you make it. It should show customization for whoever made it. It just might be taking time to load. It shows customization for anyone who loads the site. Once it's edited, it should exist for everyone. In general, it's also just better to use smaller file sizes for stuff anyway, because it's better for the web hosting service and for the purposes of like load times and stuff. Most people are not going to be able to even see all of the pixels on something that is an incredibly large image. And you can pickles, yes. So you can make it smaller because it's never even going to be rendered that. And then it's just faster on things. It doesn't take less. It takes less space. It's just if you can do it, it is better. All right. Uh what else did we want to cover? What else did you want to cover?
um, it's a good question. Well, let's ask the chat. Like, what
Yeah.
other things do you want to do? Like the image link. We should show the image link.
Mhm.
Um,
The for the images thing, it did take my site about like I think 5-10 minutes to load an image at one point earlier today. So, it does take a while sometimes. If it's taking a while, just if you did it correctly and you think you did it correctly, you can just leave it. Yes, all of those work for links. So if I wanted to add something to this front page here, like add an image, I can do the exclamation point, boxes, parentheses thing. and do this is going to be the image text, and then this is my image. I don't have any outsourced images right now, so I don't really have anything that I could put on here otherwise, but you could just put the full URL here as well, and it would work the same
Or
way.
you can just take it off my website. You can just do Barkbart. Let me see. Let's
Oh,
see
it
what
broke.
easy one is.
No. What? Why did
Um,
I break it? Am I missing a space somewhere? I think I'm.
Here you go. You can just link to mine. Yeah, you can just do barkbarklington.com bowtie numeral 1.png. Yes. Oh no, not just link to each other's sites, be collaborators as well. We were
Yeah.
going to show about how to do collaborators. So now all y'all have GitHub sites. So that means you can invite each other to be collaborators. Based upon the username or email address that you selected when you signed up to the site. Yes, and then you can make web rings. So
Yeah, not finding.
you can also enable in the settings to enable wiki on your GitHub site. It's just a checkbox and then also discussions, but the wiki and then that more things that you can just add on the site. Meow 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 meow
Now these
meow
images
meow.
show up here because I
Yeah.
added them.
Yay! Big bow tie. And then the
But
other one
I
should
can see
be
that we're losing people because we are going slow. So I'm grateful for the people here who are willing to take the time with us and do the bug fixing, who are enjoying the discussion. Sorry to the people who this is a bit slow for.
oh, they came for the collaborative part. So we're getting to the collaborative
Mhm.
part.
Oh yeah, the Bear blog is a blogging website that allows a lot of web ring stuff and interconnected stuff. Vibing's fun.
So we're
Yes,
gonna
I like vibing.
so we're gonna click on settings so we can turn on wiki first
Yep. You can go to settings, and there should be an
and scroll
option.
all the way down. Scroll down. Scroll down. There should be oh, the wiki is already on. Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. Your wiki is
Enable
already
on
on.
this, but you can click this and it'll enable a wiki, which adds
Yeah.
an extra tab here that automatically creates a wiki kind of thing that you can use for documentation.
Or just other stuff
It's
you
under
want that
settings and it's under the default settings page. So the first settings page you get to, there's an option for wiki.
also collaborators.
Yes. Another thing you can do is you can add collaborators to your repository. Uh,
It's up there. It's all the way at the top.
yes, it's at the top.
It's at the top.
So you can
Just
do
right hit the
the
first one. There
collaborators
you go. Very
button
first.
here.
Oh no, your password is dot 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 dot
It's
dot
lots of
dot dot dot
dots.
dot.
But you can add someone. So if
Yeah.
I wanted to add, if I can type. So I can do this and it'll send like an invite to Puppy to be able to
Oh,
work on this repo. And
hold
she
on.
could
Let me
go accept the invite and then she can have the
get.
same access to this as me.
I don't even have to. You have been add. Wait, where does it say that? Where is the shoot? Oh yeah, Ultra. Yep, created
So you
repository.
can
Wait, are
make
you?
one of
No.
these websites and then have as many people as you want, as many people as have GitHub accounts. You can just add them and you can all work on it together. And on these actions tab, it will say who did it, and you can actually roll things back if someone breaks something. So if I make an edit and then Puppy makes an edit, it'll list who made the edit so you can see who broke things, and you can also send it back to a previous version.
Wait, this is Cypher. Can you link me yours? Because it didn't actually say that you invited me.
Zephyrus.
Yeah. Can you just
It should
send
show
me
up
that link?
in like notifications or whatever. But
Didn't Can you just send the link just so I can click one?
yeah.
See, even I get my get oh, did you not
Yeah,
send
and
it in chat?
GitHub is another thing is that once you have an account here, there's a lot of open source programs on here. That's kind of like the big thing that this GitHub does is that it allows people to host code like that code that we use to make this example website. That you can just use the code. They'll usually have a
And
license in
that's
them that explains how you're allowed to use them, but you can just take programs from the wild that people have created
and you,
and adopt them and
and you
use
can
them for
just
whatever
find
you want.
you can also like here if you go to where is it? Shoot. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's on my page. I still didn't get it. No, I didn't get it. Just send it into the chat. So I can just click on it. Where's my
There
oh
we go.
woo? Yeah. Bark. Yeah, send it. Yeah, send it into the chat so I can. So wait a second. So if you go into mirrors, where is it?
This is the one that
Archive.
I'm editing right now. Yes, you can
Okay.
adopt the codes and give them a new home and help them grow and change them.
So okay, so here, so this is what I wanted to show you. So if you go to a random GitHub, can you click on this GitHub so so we can show because you're sharing your screen. So
Mhm.
okay, so once you're there, do you see on the right where it says about? Nope, about. See where it says about?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
now now go. Okay, do you see? No, hold on. Do you see those pills under crawler docs browser, whatever, where it says crawler web, those you can click on and those will take you to things that are tagged as those. So this is for a browser-based archiving thing. So if you want to go into anything that has the
Mhm.
tag crawler, these are all of the projects on on GitHub that are crawlers. So if you want to archive, you can look through all of these tags because people, when they're making projects, put tags so other creators can find exactly what they are. And this is important, especially if you want to do the archiving. Okay, so yeah, okay, hold on. Let me
Someone asked about if comments exist in Markdown. I believe you can just use normal HTML comments in Markdown and it'll read them as comments like normal. So if you use the HTML syntax, it should work like a normal comment. And
Oh
it
yeah,
shouldn't
has
be.
invited you to collaborate. So I'm going to view invitation. I'm going to accept the invitation. So now, since I accepted the invitation, I can add a
And also under
file
these collaborators, I can now see you as a collaborator. And I can
of a
remove you if I
collaborator.
needed to for some reason. But you can do the things.
Here you go. So
Yes,
wait a second. So I'm going to
that's
add.
the HTML syntax for comments. If you do that, it reads it as a comment like it should. The what are they called? Sideways carrots with the exclamation point and dashes. I don't know how to describe it better than that.
Yeah, left and right. Shoot, I forgot the name of them as well. Breeze? No.
Greater than sign, less than sign, I think.
Oh yeah, something like that. Chevrons, right and left chevrons. There we go.
Mhm.
Wow. Oh, I have to name
Yes,
the
Jackman
title.
and yeah, fun.
Puppy.md. Commit changes. So I made puppy.md and then sidebar. I'm gonna edit this file.
So now I have a file here created by, or we have a file here called puppy and markdown. And under actions, I can see something loading from puppy.
Let's see if I remember
Yeah,
if
a
I remembered what case I did.
fork is if someone takes this, like this is a public repo right now. If you wanted to go to the website, you could fork it, which basically means you take a copy of it and now it exists entirely on your. You can do whatever edits you want to it. You don't have to ask me for permission. And I could, in theory, take stuff from your fork and then merge it back in if I'm like, "Oh, that's actually a really cool edit. I didn't think of that." I could add that back to my page.
So
Or if you
now if
have,
you
like, a
refresh the
program where you
page,
have a game and someone wants to, like, make an edit to your game or like, "Oh, I think this balance patch would be useful," and this person's busy doing something else, they can do the balance patch, it adds it to their own repo, and then they can merge it you could merge it in. If you have a site live, it will add it, as technically as files on the site, although they won't necessarily be rendered depending on how it reads them.
oh, also when you okay, when you click on one of your anything, I don't know, click on one of those things. Now press period on your keyboard. So this is the bigger editor. This is built-in Visual
Oh,
Studio. So
yeah.
Visual Studio is built in. Yeah, proceed anyways. Yeah, do that. No, you want to. Yeah, add it, allow it. Yeah, you need to give it
So, if
permission.
you wanna
Otherwise, it
use
was
Fancy Editor, you can do this. I feel like this is a bit much, though, so that is an option. If you want to look into Fancy Editor, you can just hit period and it'll send you back Visual Studio built-in Visual Studio thing. Yes, the limitation to GitHub Pages is that everything is static and not dynamic. So you can't, make content where people have to, like, log in and edit things on your web page. Everything is hosted as kind of like wiki style with everything edited on the
you
back end
press
rather than
the
it being forum style.
period. It
That page was where you hit if you're
opens
editing
up
any of these
the
pages, yeah, you can hit period and it
VS
pulls up like a full-sized developer console if you know how to use one of those. Mhm. If you have another site that has comments and stuff like that, or those kind of capabilities, GitHub does have stuff that you can use where you can use those comments elsewhere and add them into your comments and add them as comments on a site that normally wouldn't be able to uh, have people have accounts and logins because it's static and not dynamic. And Puppy earlier made that edit adding this page, and it exists.
There you go. See, we're all collaborators.
So Puppy added this. I didn't do anything to make this page appear, but we collaborated and now it's there.
Exactly. And that's kind of the whole point of what I wanted to
Mhm.
show, why I wanted to have this presentation in the first place, because I think it's important for collaboration, for the
You can both
collaboration,
make things
for the
collaborative and just make things in general, and you don't actually have to have a lot of technical knowledge to do it. You can just do things. It is complete people make this freely accessible code and to use art analogies because I do more art than any programming I've ever done. But people make programs and make these tools that kind of these programs can exist kind of like a free to use art base where if you give credit to where it's due with the way that they ask you to credit it, you can totally just use it and do whatever you within the limits that they've asked you to use. So you can just take programs that people have made for people to use and just do things like this. You can make a website without having to do a lot of programming for.
I'm really glad that for all y'all that are still in here, sticking around with us to the end, and hopefully y'all have a functioning uh is it there? It's in actions. Yeah, yeah, it keeps track of them. So
Mhm.
every piece of code, like delete something accidentally, like delete my thing. Like
Okay.
change the do something wrong in mine. Yeah. Yeah, go into the puppy MD and like
Just
mess up the URL or something. Yeah, or yeah, do that. Yeah.
there's no more image now. How do we get the image back?
So okay, so go back to
Oh, once it
actions.
loads.
Well, it has to finish. It has to
Yeah.
finish
If
rendering.
something has saved, and we'll see that once this thing loads. Somehow the divider is not showing up. Hmm. See.
In the lower, in the menu, because you can actually.
Like the image divider or the what's it called? Sidebar. The
Because the
image?
side.
What syntax did you use to add it? Oh, I see it's showing up in the markdown. Can you send a screenshot of
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
exact like thing you added to the markdown was? Just like the syntax you used for it?
yeah. Go into commits.
Did you upload this to the GitHub? And is it in the same folder? Because you can just use the simple version where you just use the
Oh no, that's not how you do a divider in Markdown. You use a different. You don't have to use. You don't
that's
have
for
to
like a
use that.
fancy image divider. You don't have to
Yeah.
do that, but it's in a different repository. Hmm.
Let's see. Dream
Is
Dream
the
Dragon.
repository public or is the repository private? Do you
Hold
know?
on. Wait? Can you copy that the link to that image because sometimes with the spaces in it, it doesn't work good. But
And it's
yeah,
loaded
paste
in the
paste
markdown.
paste that Dream Dragon thingy. Actually, hold on. Okay. So this is the reason why. So the reason why it didn't copy is you're not actually at the raw file. So you'll see that there's three dots. Let's see if you're opening. Okay, click on here. Set. How do I keep pronouncing your name? I keep mispronouncing your name. Can you uh, set?
So you want to be here? Is this what you
Yes.
mean?
Okay. Okay. So this is your code isn't entirely correct. Click the three dots in the right. Click the three dots. Then where it
Mm-hmm.
says copy the permalink. Or actually, maybe the download one. Actually, no. Whatever the download link is, maybe it's that one. Nope.
No,
No.
that
Do the
downloads the
permalink.
image. I don't think
Do the permalink. Do the permalink. Or you can copy the address
permalink.
from that. You can.
Permalink is
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
which links back here.
No, it should be raw. You want the raw one because this is the rendered
Like
page,
open
and
image
then
in new tab.
it should be. Yeah. Can you open it in a new tab? Is that
This.
possible to do?
That's this.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So then you'll do that one, the
Use this
raw.github.
link.
It has to say raw. Any code that you have to add has to be raw. Otherwise, it's rendered to the site. So you'll use this raw. So you'll use the exclamation divide. You'll use that. You want to or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to call it divide, but that's the code you want to use as your divider. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to get the raw. I'm at my other presenter too. I have trouble with their name. Can you say it again?
I was trying
Other
to say
presenter?
reuse name, but
Yes,
for
you're
rollback,
in.
we were going to do rollback. Or
Okay, so go to a previous build deployment. I mean, the Ellie
so
the
this one
Yeen
is the
said go to
one.
commit. So then go down. You should be able to see code that was changed. No?
Here
Where is it? I don't know. Ellie the Yeen, where's commits? I keep forgetting where commits is
in
in
code.
code.
Okay. We are in code.
No, 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 go up. Go up, go up, go up, go up.
Yep, I'm trying to, and it's not liking my. This is right on between my two screens. Top. Cool.
Above
Time of
where it
tile.
says time of titles. Oh, 36 commits right there under the green button that says code.
Yes. This
Click
little
that. There.
thing here.
Ah, there it is. So, create puppy or no,
Update
that's
puppy.
the one. Yep. There you go. And the red was the thing that you removed, and the
Mm-hmm.
green is what you did. So you can always roll it back to that.
So then if I click this. So you can see everything that was changed. If you want to change the README to something, you cannot change the actual file. You could have something else be like your starting page and stuff like that, but you have to leave a README. It's kind of a GitHub thing where README is yeah.
Yep.
README is like a special thing to GitHub where anything that's a is kind of like the README first. So if you have a thing that has like all of your game programming stuff from the game you're making, if you make a README and the markdown text, that'll be the first thing people read, and it'll show up down here by default. And yeah, so it shows up down here as kind of like the wiki page intro project. The README always does that, and it's a GitHub thing, and it by default is your homepage. I believe there's a way to change it so that it uses a different page as the homepage.
If you want to change like the styles and backgrounds and stuff like that, you can
Mm-hmm.
try attempt editing the index.html. That's what I did on mine. That's how I gave it dark mode and stuff like that. Because
So
this is
this
just a
index
regular HTML. So yeah, so
mm-hmm.
that has some
So
JavaScript
all of
in
this
it.
stuff you are stuck with having a README. You can make other files, but there will be some README because it's the like GitHub cover page kind of thing. It does not have to be in sidebar. So this, the earlier panel that this other con, and I think there was a version of previous Centaurus Festival as well, where they taught you how to do the. Once you want to do HTML stuff, and once that you can do that with. It gave
You
you
can
a
also
basic one to do stuff for you, but you can
see where
also just do that.
do you see where it says line number 10, AMA template, and then quick temporary site
Mhm.
for that? You can change that to say whatever
This
you
this will
want.
change your website title kind of thing, and you can change your description of your website that shows up in like a yes, my cat wants food. No, I'm not getting you food. And you can change down here what your default like title that shows up here is. Cat does not need food. Cat thinks she needs food 24/7. No, you don't get food.
You mean 25/8?
Yes. Hungry cat.
Hungry cat meow 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 meow. Hungry cat meow 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 meow. Hungry. Oh.
So cruel to starve the cat. The cat needs to be on a diet. You get too much food from my other family members.
Oh, you wanted me to keep singing that? No, oh no, no. Then all the rest of you are gonna leave the leave the presentation if I sing Baby Cat. Oh, that is so funny. 25/8. Yes, that is so funny.
Yes.
That's what.
Ate
Yeah,
the
that's
food.
why 6 was
There's no
after
food
8
in the
is
bowl,
7.
so clearly we
Is
need
7, 8,
more.
9. 789. 7, 8.
You can also add the tags and stuff in the HTML.
Oops, nope.
No,
That's
don't get
not 9.
negative. That is not notice.
There you go. That's also a good password. Numeral, uppercase, lowercase, special symbols, spaces. There you go. There you go. That's a password for anybody. There you go. The passphrase. How would you go about changing the main page to something else so we weren't stuck with a page that's just called? Oh, okay. You just said that, baby. Let's see.
You can change the title that shows up by changing what's in the sidebar. Let me check if how you change the actual page links. Yeah, I would say I don't have mod perms, but I might not leave that message. Puppy.
What? Oh,
This is not 18 plus.
oh. Nope.
It's
Remove.
fine.
Delete. Did it?
Bull has food, but it is not full anymore. Yes.
Is it gone now? I can't tell.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, actually I can
You're good.
just. Oh, it's gone? Okay. Oh, I love that. Oh, do more about that.
No. That is,
Sorry,
you
I didn't
can
realize
use
that
the custom
aiding. I didn't.
URL,
Back
but the custom URL is the same as like most other sites that have custom URLs, and that it's like an extra thing to do. By default, like with a whatever hosting service you're using, Netlify, Neo, by default the account name.
That's how I did this, because the barkbarklington.com is actually https://barkbarklington.github.
There is a way to do
IO.
this
Like,
to change the sidebar. Oh, again, this is stuff where like this is all stuff that you can change using the information listed in the like what's it called? So Doxify has the all of the information documenting how you change stuff for it. In that, it includes how to do that kind of thing. That just does require programming. So like
there
I
are
could
other
show you how to do things. There are other themes that you can use with Doxify. It just isn't necessarily as easy as the plug and play.
And you don't even have to use, as I said, you don't have to use Doxify, because my barkbarklington.github.io or barkbarklington.com is just regular HTML. Like in my directory, it's just
Like this is
HTML and
their
CSS.
GitHub, and this is the actual website that has all the documentation and stuff.
But the other one that I
Those
linked,
have more on it.
this Awoo mirror is, shoot, I keep doing that. This Awoo, oh, I keep doing that. This Awoo site is the Doxify, so you can use whatever hosting technology you want on this website. And you don't even, like, you can use GitLab, you can even use, like we were previously talking about, Netlify. You can deploy to Netlify, you can use 11D, you can use whatever you want. But this is primarily why we were showing all y'all this, is because this is meant to be collaborative, because it is a revision control system. So this is meant for programmers around the world who are developing their games or software, who might live in countries all around the world, to be able to communally and collaboratively work and edit on one unified project, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
And
like
so that's why we
anyone who can make a GitHub account can edit one of these. It doesn't matter where you are.
So that's why we showed you how to add collaborators, because the all of you can then have access to adding, you know, like I could go back and add a wiki article and stuff like that. And this is just meant to be the basics 101. Like we didn't want to have to like cover every little
Mhm.
piece of minutia because that would be not only complicated though, but um you might not be interested. Not everybody wants a different every creature wants a different looking site. And this is just like a jumping off point. So like once you're very comfortable with Markdown, you might want to try out Jekyll, which is built in because there's a little bit more flexibility, actually much more theming
There's
flexibility with
anything that
Jekyll.
has anything that takes a little more programming is also gonna come with significantly more flexibility.
So
There's
like
only so much you can do within the bounds of no
constraints, yeah.
programming.
Exactly. So that's why we wanted to do this is to show you like you don't need to learn how to program to get your feet wet in this. You made your website, you're all.
I think if the file that you were using is still the home page, it will stay the home page. Um, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you
See, look
add
at that.
indents on the sidebar page, it does add indents to the
Oh yeah, that's the best part about Markdown is it's
'cause
basically
sidebar
like
pages in Markdown like anything else. So you can
exactly.
do fancy Markdown stuff in the sidebar. I think you can do like collapse sections and extra links to other places if you wanted to link to some
Yeah, yeah,
sidebar.
that's like
All of that is
that's
possible.
yeah, that's what's in mind. So if you go to my mirror site, I'll link it again.
Like if
If you
you
go
had
to
maybe a social media site you wanted to link away to something else, you could do that.
Yeah, so if you go to Mirror, you can see on the sidebar that, if you go to README, Mirror, example second page, Doxify template, when you click the Doxify template, it's the template. Game is just my other website with social media, and but the about doesn't do anything because I didn't actually put the about in there. So I just wanted to show you what happened if you clicked on a thing that didn't have a thing. I don't what do you mean by no preview? I don't know how to preview. I'm sorry.
I think that might be like a thing where it doesn't show the pop-up showing your title and description. It doesn't show the preview. If it doesn't embed like that, it doesn't it's harder to prove that it's not a sketchy website basically.
Oh, right.
No. So somehow you deleted whatever usually makes it show up with the preview.
I think it's because Cloudflare did something because it's a different domain name because I have the www dot my domain dot whatever. So
Maybe
maybe
that's it, yeah.
I think that's because I was having an issue with Cloudflare and GitHub pages. Like it was like, no, your DNS didn't whatever. Um oh,
So
meta
that's just a
description.
technical thing with your main site using a different domain. And so this one's
Maybe.
because it's technically launched or there's something else. Is that what you mean?
Maybe,
That's not
or maybe it's
maybe.
just I think it's yeah, this one doesn't do it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's just because of who's hosting my domain.
that would yeah.
I think I have some sort of security enabled or something. I don't know. I don't caching. I think maybe there's caching or something. It's doing something. Alls I know is it was a
It's
big
doing
headache.
something.
Like it was a big deal to actually get it to work. No, I know, no, not there was no robots anywhere. I don't care if things are indexed. I actually want to show up places. But that is a good thought. I'll give that a 100%.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
might be missing the
I
text
could
in the document.
yeah. That's probably what it is. I was probably super lazy or I probably deleted something from the index.html page, which I think I did.
That would most likely do it. That would definitely do it if you did. Yeah.
Because if you look at my site, it has a completely different theme than yours, and it also has those floating elements and stuff like that. It's supposed to look like snow, but they're done using divs and CSS or something. Is there anything else that y'all want to know from us?
Yeah, I think we are technically getting close to the end of the panel. Thank you all for
Yeah.
sticking with us through
Yeah, I know,
this
right?
crazy ride of things did not go as planned, and we're gonna make it hopefully somewhat informative. Um, we have 5 minutes left technically, but yeah. Which question? Yes, you have to if you change the tabs or the tags, like your title and content under your HTML, it will change what shows up in that little preview that everyone gets. If that gets deleted somehow, it will not show any preview at all. Interesting.
Yeah, I have what did I do? What did I do to it? Oh, view page source.
It is
Yeah, I have
complex to change the main page. I was actually trying to read the documentation on the side and explain it quickly. Um, it's not quick, but it is possible.
let me go back to GitHub. Go to Woo. Go to index. Edit it.
The way that I have it set up here is that it still shows up as README in the URL, but I renamed the page to home on my sidebar, so it does show up set differently on the sidebar, and that's kind of like the middle ground that you. So up here it shows up as home, on the sidebar it shows up as home. Technically, it shows up as README here. It also shows up without anything there though, just because it's also the default page for the site. Yes, the HTML stuff goes in the HTML file. The fancy coding file is the HTML one. If you want to change what the pop-up that shows up, what your site name is, what shows up here as example site, you can also search pages, which is a cool feature. So, but yeah, all of this stuff is stuff that shows up in the HTML if you wanted to mess with that.
There you go.
Yeah, so now that shows up with the embed because you
Uh,
added that embed section that tells it what to say.
I had it commented out for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. That happens when you're making stuff in programming, it will break on you. Stuff will stop working the way you were expecting it to, and it might not know why immediately until you go digging through the weeds to find it. And yes, if you want to have more in-depth information about the actual programming side of making a website, that other panel is a good resource for that.
Oh, okay. So the rollback changes. Okay, so can you go back to code?
Oh,
Go
yeah.
back to the commits. Yeah. So it's under code, and then
Not that
see the
code, this
clock.
code.
You click the clock.
This little
Click the
commits
clock,
thing here, it shows you
and then
everything that anyone has changed on things.
so when you
So if
click on
someone
something, it will show you in red and green like what the different changes
anything
were.
that was
So
deleted and added, it shows you exactly what happened. And so you could either copy paste this back or I believe you can like I believe there's a way to add it back directly from here and roll back a file.
but even if you can't, you can just copy and paste. You can see what it
Yeah,
was, and then
you can definitely copy paste. It lets you copy paste back from here. There should be a way to roll back. I don't I don't remember what it is. Yeah, you can also go back in history. Yes, Git is very powerful. It is intimidating, but very useful if you can get over the spooky user interface. And also gives you
And it
access to all the free coding stuff that other people have made. So it's
and
good to use.
collaboration. So it's good for
And
projects like
collaboration.
these. So, like, say you're all part of a certain kind of, I don't know, fictionkins or something that's like maybe kind
Like
of
I've seen certain people
unique.
make like a web page where they host all of the essays on a specific topic that they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
had submitted to them. And you could make one of those, except everyone can just add their own page. Like they don't have to go through you for it because you can all work on it together. And you could make something like that through this.
Like, yeah, or if you're all from like the same source and you want to like talk about your experiences, being from that particular source, which would be like cool. Delete workflow run with that. Oh, I don't know. That's yo, that's way more. I don't touch any of these pictures. I only sometimes when I download nightly builds of software, I download artifacts, but like that's because I download nightly builds. I have no idea.
Where would be the delete workflow run? I'm
Go
totally
go
worth
yeah, no, go no,
willing
yeah,
to
go
just
back
try
to
it
where
right now.
yeah, go back to
That's
where
where
you
I
just
was.
were. Yeah, that's where you were. So you go down. So you would go. You'd click on one of those things where it says deployment. Click maybe one of those. I have no idea how that would work. Oh, outside of the. Oh, outside of the action.
It's better to just change the code. Oh, that makes sense though, because if you just change the code, so if you copy paste stuff back, so the way we were showing earlier with the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
here where you copy paste stuff back so I can see what changed, and I'm like, hey, I didn't actually
yeah.
want this here. I don't know what file changed. If you manually go back and change it or copy paste things back, that'll show up as an extra thing on the actions rather than undoing a bunch of stuff on here. So it'll add to this list rather than undoing this list. And that's better for looking at like the long term of what's happened for the full product, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's
Link
logging the history of things rather
your
than undoing the
code.
history go back.
Provide screenshot. So if you link your code repo and okay.
Remove the sidebar completely.
Oh
Hmm.
no, no, you press. Oh, you did. Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, do you
Found
have an
it.
image of what things are? Also, we are starting to go overtime, so if we
Okay.
want, I can make a discussion if people want to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
like bringing up problems and we can work on this together still. If people are still
Oh yeah,
wanting
that
us
sounds
to
like a good
keep
idea.
fixing, that way we don't take up
Yeah,
the stage any longer than necessary.
that's a good idea. So does everybody feel accomplished and rejuvenated that you're all web developers now? You can you made this website. It's live to the whole world. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You can add collaborators. You can do whatever you want now.
All right, I have created a discussion if anyone wants to jump in there, if they still have questions, so that we won't miss them in this chat.
Well, I'm glad that you like this Doxify. So there's other ones too. These are called static site generators. So there's a whole classification of these,
So
and
there is a thing that I made that we didn't end up having getting to show because we decided bug fixing and just explaining stuff was more important. But I did make
yeah,
this. And I will be posting this afterward as well, which is a small guide that I made. Some of the most common web hosting options that I see around, what you can do with a website to avoid having to code as much, both using free to use code and the tool that we were using is a type of free to use code called a static site generator, in our which basically creates these kinds of sites with they're kind of like translators for one programming language to another or one text language to another, and that actually makes it um, lets you be able to convert things like our markdown here to these files that are being launched as pages. Um, and then also some more extra stuff about making a multi-person project and version control. Be sure to back things up. This is an example. Things will break. We had this ready so many months ago, and then it decided to break. So make sure you have a backup on any info. Print paper, print copies of things. Things will crash, so make backups. It's always
yeah,
good to do that.
and as I said in a previous panel about the archiving, I literally lost 4 terabytes, 4 TB, 4 trillion bytes, not gigabytes, 4 terabytes of data because I didn't remove my backup hard drive from the computer and I reinstalled on top of it. So it was great. It was wonderful. Yep, 4 terabytes. And it's like stuff I can't get back. It was previous other cons, it was like stuff from like
It's weird.
2017. Yeah.
That's her. All right.
Oh, right, because you didn't escape the exclamation the apostrophe. So yeah, so for special characters that mean something in programming languages, you have to replace them with their escaped value.
There.
So since a apostrophe and a quotation marks are both programming language aware, how did so I needed to reinstall I needed to I filled up that 4 terabytes. It was all filled up, and
It's
my
like if I
other hard
just tried
drive
to
that
type like a text message here in Discord and I do hashtag hi as like a, oh, it's a hashtag funny thing. And then if
yeah,
I do that, it means something. And so Discord's like, what do you mean? And
exactly.
then it does the other version of the thing. You have to make sure that explain things to the programming like, no, I don't want to use the fancy version of this symbol that does things. I want you to use the this jumble of symbols and characters that actually refers back to that symbol.
Oh, the alter human, yeah, that got messed up for some reason. So I lost all the data because my operating system
That
was on a 1 terabyte drive, and
it's that original website.
I installed a new 4 terabyte empty hard drive for my OS, but I also had my 4 terabyte backup drive still in the computer. So when I went to install my operating system, I was like, oh, I'll know which 4 terabyte drive is my backup drive and which one is the empty drive. Nope, I effed that up real bad and I reinstalled all over my backup drive. So it was great. I lost everything.
Yeah, the original site we were making for this is still broken. I will be fixing it. But that is an
Yeah.
example of make sure you back things up because things will break when you're not expecting. Make backups, make extra saves. It's worth it in the long run. Later, future you will thank you.
Oh yeah, it was painful. Yeah, I lost stuff from like 2017. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yes,
Yep.
the
It
computer
was
will take
so
things as literally as possible, as literally as it has been told to do. If something means something else to it, it will use that meaning it's normally used to. So you have to use the fancy extra stuff to make sure that it understands things the way humans uh understand things, or people, or whatever we are,
exactly.
whatever human is
And
programming things who
what I
made all
should
these
have done
languages for you.
what I should have done, because I was being lazy, I should have just removed the backup drive from my computer to prevent that
Mhm.
from happening. So that's
So what
the
it's going to
so
be once I get that website up and running again is it's going to be a site that anyone who wants to can access and ask to contribute to, where people can post any kind of guide or resource they think would be useful to people from
yeah,
the
because
Altered
the
Human
whole
community. That's what
because
it's
the whole
intended to
whole
be.
point of this
That's what we were hoping to have it working as by the time of this, but it broke, unfortunately. So we're gonna
and
remake it, and we're gonna make it better next time.
and the whole point is all of y'all in this presentation then would have more or less been invited to be
Yeah,
collaborators because it would have been a
because now you have an
community
account.
document as opposed to their own personal one, which is why they only invited me to be a collaborator and not everybody else because that's their personal GitHubs, if that makes sense.
And thank you. Yeah, there has been a discussion made. Let me see if I am knowledgeable enough in Discord workings to be able to link it in here. I don't know how to link
But yeah,
to another
I just want to thank
person.
everybody. I definitely want to thank the main contributor to this. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do this, even though I'm stupid and I can't pronounce your name. Um
No, it's fine.
you're
But yeah, I definitely would not have been able to get this done either without you. We've been working on this together, and we have been working through all of the bug fixing as things have been breaking the 3 or 4 days before and
and
during
months
the
of
con. It was stable for 3 months,
I
two
know,
two or three
right?
months. Don't remember
But
whenever we
I'm
started it.
actually glad. I'm actually glad that that
That
happened
is how it
because
be.
yeah, because then you don't have to download any software. You can do this literally all from your cell phone, which is cool. Which is kind of what I wanted it to be, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Delete
Because there's
workaround.
like hundreds of static site generators, and I was going through all the ones that looked good, and I was like, why isn't this? Oh well. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I would have cried. That's happened to me. That actually did happen to me before. Yeah. Oh, delete workflow run. Okay, I see that.
Yeah, I'm messing
Oh.
with that and gonna see if it works. If it works, I will uh paste or explain as such in the discussion that we made. Oh, because it is about time to close.
Yeah. Meow 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 meow
Yeah,
meow
thank
meow
you for
meow.
the offer to help people. It's always
Yeah.
nice to
Oh
see
yeah.
people who are
Yes.
capable and
Yeah.
willing to help.
Yes. You can
Well,
always
you can
add me as a
totally
friend.
ask
Everybody.
around.
Yeah.
Ask around. You
Everybody.
probably know people who are willing to help that you didn't even realize are able to do that.
And thank you, 8 Star Realm and Ellie the Yeen and everybody else who contributed. Um,
Mhm.
it's always good to have insights from others that actually like do coding more on a regular basis. Because
Mhm.
I'm more of a system administrator. Like I know how to set up these things. Like I know how to set up the websites, but actually doing the programming, I'm like, no, I server 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 does that for me.
Yeah. And I have taken one class in C++ plus plus and was apparently qualified enough to do this. So if I can do this,
Yeah.
and it's always nice to see people who are know more about this stuff because I definitely don't. I understand it well enough, I think, but we're all
Hey, you
working
did
with what
better
we
than
got.
me. Like if it was just me
This is good.
alone, this wouldn't have gotten done. So like I needed
It is a
you.
group effort. And we are
Yes,
starting to trail
absolutely.
into what my
Oh
area
shit.
calls the Midwestern goodbye, where we do just
Oh.
continue to rambling forever. So I am going to cut things here. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for sticking around with us this whole time for all the rambling and chatting and bug fixing. If you do want to talk more about this and get more bug that discussion that I made, uh, and I hope everyone has a good night.
Yeah. Bye. Tschüss, bis
Bye.
später. Tschüss, tschüss, bis später.